home. Can you hear me? My sound clearly?
Yeah.
So, shall we start soon? Because some people are left from Europe to their home countries. So we start in right time. So, good afternoon, everybody. Warmly welcome to you all for coming today, this session for presentation of this kind of very interesting topics. So first, we introduce the presenter to the audience. The first presenter is Dr. Momo Tong. She is the director from the Biomedical Research Division, Department of Medical Research. She has a PhD degree in pathology from University of Medicine 1 since 2009. And she also has a long experience of working as a researcher, and her research mainly concerned hepatitis B vaccine. As being the president of Cancer Research Scientific Group, now she worked as a principal investigator for molecular and immunogenic diagnosis of infection, tumor markers, and biological agents in liver, gastric, breast, and oral cancer. And another speaker is from Nepal. She's from Nepal. This one? Yes, this one is Amu Singh Sitapati. She is the president of the Family Planning Association of Nepal, where she started as a youth peer educator 14 years ago in 2001. She has also been a vice chair of the South Asian Regional Youth Network and currently serves as a member of the Regional Council of the IPPF South Asia region. She has a graduate degree in arts from Tribhuvan University. She has represented the association in various national and international forums, including the UN, since more than a decade. She has a long experience of working on sexual and reproductive health in various capacities, especially focusing on the needs of young people and women, and very good understanding of the current context and women's needs. Ms. Sajapati is also a campaigner of the PAW and advocate of women's rights. She has been vocal about the rights of women in various forums and has influenced various policy changes through advocacy with the government, parliamentarian, and other partners. She has also worked intensely on CBD issues and believes that gender equality is a prerequisite of any development. She believes that involving young people is key to success of projects and programs. She has worked with young people on various issues and ensures meaning youth participation throughout the organization. And another speaker is Nabina. She's an accountant. She also acts in the FPAN, and she has an experience of many financial affairs in FPAN for many years, and she also presents the effect of financial affairs in FPAN. So we start. First speaker, Dr. Momo Tong. So may I call upon Dr. Momo Tong to present your presentation.
Good morning, Honorable Madam Chairperson, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm the Dr. And firstly, I would like to thank the organizing committee of the ACCR SHR for permission of our oral presentation. The title is the Antenatal Screening of Anemia, including iron deficiency anemia, hemoglobinopathies, thalassemia among the pregnant women living in the Pool region of Myanmar. Introduction is, as you know, anemia in pregnancy is a major health problem in many developing countries and is associated with the increased rate of maternal and child mortality, premature delivery, low birth weight baby, and other bad outcomes. The global prevalence of anemia is 29 to 33% in pregnant women, and the highest in the Southeast Asia and Central West Africa. Anemia in pregnancy defines hemoglobin concentration lower than 11 grams per deciliter. The global mean hemoglobin is 11.2 to 11.4 in pregnant women with anemia. The most common cause of anemia in pregnancy is iron deficiency, and others are thalassemia, hemoglobinopathies, and macroplastic anemia due to vitamin B12 and folic deficiency. And this table shows the prevalence of anemia among the pregnant women in the world, and they are the developed country, the US in 16% in 2011, in Myanmar 34%. These are the prevalence of anemia research findings among the pregnant women in Myanmar. In 1976, 72% in Myanmar, and 1994, 51% Hilly region, and 1992, Central Women Hospital, 72%, and in Yangon, 48.6 in 1998. And 1.18% of fetal thalassemia trait and 19.9% of pregnant women with hemoglobin E carriers in 2003. The iron deficiency anemia research findings show 13 to 24% in Myanmar, 1972, and in Yangon, 43%, and 17.19 in Yangon region, 1994. The last is 2011 data, 60% in Delhi Township in Myanmar. Hemoglobinopathies are condition of abnormal hemoglobin, and due to the defect in the hemoglobin genes. And there are many abnormal hemoglobin SC, E, HT, G, HT, alpha, and beta. And prevalence of hemoglobinopathies in the world, 0.3 to 25 per 1,000 live birth was hemoglobin variant. More than 7% of pregnant women carry the hemoglobin variants, and then 1.1% of couples are at risk for children with hemoglobin disorders. In Myanmar, the overall prevalence after thalassemia was 13% in general population, and beta was 6.9 in KN. It depends on the different ethnic group, and 1.18% in pregnant women in 2006 beta. In the objective of my study to conduct the screening of anemia, including iron deficiency, hemoglobinopathies, thalassemia, among the pregnant women attending AN clinic in Medan MCH in Bago region of Myanmar. Specific objectives, firstly to screen out anemia, and then to find the iron deficiency, hemoglobin variants, thalassemia, and finally analyze the predisposing factors related to anemia in pregnant women. This is a cross-sectional descriptive study based on the laboratory and carried out 478 pregnant women who are attending AN clinic. They are living in the different villages in Bago region. This study period 1 year, 2014 to 15. This picture shows the screening of the anemia in pregnant women attending AN visit in Bago region, ICH. Inclusion criteria, all are participate in the apparently healthy women with early gestation. Exclusion, they have the hematological disease and other chronic diseases. And after approval by Ethics Review Committee of our Department of Medical Research, informed consent was obtained from all subjects. And the drug history, family, obstetric, surgical, medical history were recorded according to the proforma. This is the flow chart for methodology. Firstly, to screen out the anemia in the 1 drop of the fingertip, and then the less than 11 gram percent going to the taking blood from the venous blood and going to the automatic analyzer and the blood film examination, and then go on to the serum ferritin for iron deficiency anemia and the T-scan for the thalassemia screening and the hemoglobin electrophoresis for hemoglobin variants. This device is the hemoglobin HemoQ. The name is HemoQ, automatic device for the 1 drop of blood. to check the hemoglobin concentration. And this is the long procedure. And the figure shows the automatic analyzer, 26 parameter, and the Brafflin examination, and is from the hypochromic microcytic anemia with the many target cells. And this figure shows the isoelectric focusing to find out the hemoglobin variance. The results. The anemia was detected in 268 pregnant mothers, 56% out of the 478. And the age range was 18 to 43 years. Gestation was 12 to 40 weeks. And the mean age is 28, plus or minus 6.14. This is the age group, 4 divided group. The most common is 20 to 30 years. The AN visit 304 at 63.6%. And anemia was detected 169, 53%. Different grade of anemia in these pregnant mothers, there are 3 grades according to WHO. The most common group is the mild anemia, 10 to 11 gram per deciliter, and the 55.2%. Here are the socio-economic characteristics of these pregnant mothers with anemia. There are the 6 group kind of occupation. The most common is dependent, and they are working the housework. And then the number 174, the percentage 65. The education status, the main the primary school pass level 102 subject at 38.1%. And monthly family income and 1 to 200,000 checks are most common in the number 188, 71.8%. The gestation more than 25 weeks are commonest, 182, 68%. And the family members, there are 2 types, less than 5 and more than 5. The less than 5 group is common, 176, 70.7%. Signs and symptoms of anemia are, most of them are no signs and symptoms, 75%. The mean hemoglobin figure, the hemoglobin test, 10.76, and then the automatic analyzer, 10.3. The diagnosis for iron deficiency, Brafflin, hypochromic microcytic, total RBC count, MCV, and serum ferritin less than 30 nanogram per ml, according to American Family Medicine, and determination by ELISA method. There are positive 89 cases out of 195. And the serum ferritin level, mean is 43.16, the minimum 4.42, maximum 163. The total for 52.5%. And this is the socio-economic characteristic and serum ferritin value. And there are the non-significant association, occupation, education, income. But maybe gestation period is the most significant. And then this figure shows the hemoglobin variance by isoelectric focusing. There are the 4 types of hemoglobin. A is the normal, EE is abnormal, EA and HE. This figure shows distribution of hemoglobin type. And the most common are hemoglobin E, normal type, 76.5, EA 21.6%, EE 1.5, and AH 0.4. The mean red blood cell parameters and different type of hemoglobin, they are all levels are less than normal, and then the least figure is the hemoglobin AH type. This figure shows the distribution of the mean hemoglobin concentration and then the hemoglobin type. And diagnosis for beta thalassemia, according to the estimation of hemoglobin A2, hemoglobin F, and then the type of hemoglobin is the heterozygous beta thalassemia minor, OFD positive, less than 90%. And beta thalassemia, in this study, 28 in number, 12.8%. Among the anemic pregnant women, alpha thalassemia found the 1 case. And this is the alpha thalassemia detected by the inclusion test, Brilliant Precise Blue Dye test. The figures show the different types of anemia. The most common and the type are iron deficiency, other hemoglobin variants, and thalassemia. The mean red blood cell parameters of normal and abnormal group, all are the significance. And the mean red blood cell parameters for pregnant women with normal hemoglobin and hemoglobinopathy, these are all are the significance. And discussion. The prevalence of anemia in this study, 56%. They are living in the different villages of the whole region in Myanmar. The previous study, 2011, Railway Township, 76% detected. In my study, the most common age is younger group, 20 to 30 years, 63%. The less common age group, more than 40 years. And my hemoglobin is commonest in this study, and the most common socio-economic characteristics are dependent, education level is primary school level, family income 100 to 200,000 checks, and more than 24 weeks of gestation are commonest, and family number, less than 5. And no clinical sign and symptom, more than 75%. The iron deficiency anemia, 52.5%. And serum ferritin concentration are most significantly associated with the increased gestation period. The serum ferritin was significantly associated with hematological parameters except total red blood cell count. Hemoglobin variants are significantly associated to all hematological parameters. Anemia in pregnant mother was significantly associated with all hematological parameters. There were no significant difference between hemoglobin concentration, gestation, education, and family income. The commonest hemoglobin type is AA, and EA and EE. HA is very rare, only one case. The hemoglobin concentration was significantly different in types of hemoglobin variants. The rapid hemoglobin analyzer, HemoQ, is very useful laboratory device that has ability to determine the hemoglobin concentration within 5 minutes. The cost of the HemoQ device is cheaper than other tests. One test costs 800 just. The mean hemoglobin concentration preserved by using this device nearly same as automatic blood analyzer, and percentage agreement between two methods 83.7. This device can easily used to determine hemoglobin concentration for screening of anemia in AN clinic of MCH in every township and rural health center in our country. The screening of anemia in AN is one of the important functions for maternal and child health. Anemia is one of the main health problems in pregnant women living in rural areas or region in Myanmar. Therefore, prevention and proper treatment of anemia is important. The requirements to be included in the national health planning for reduction of maternal and child mortality and morbidity. Hemoglobinopathies are important. In this study, 28% of total anemic population are hemoglobin variants. The tested for thalassemia, sickle, hemoglobin, abnormal hemoglobin SC are find out and for proper treatment and therefore to reduce maternal and perinatal outcomes during pregnancy. Therefore, prenatal screening and family counseling of beta and alpha thalassemia carriers in pregnant women is important for the prevention of thalassemia major in our country. These are my references, and then this is the acknowledgement. And thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Dr. Mahmood. Thank you very much for your very highly technical but interesting presentations. So, shall we move another speaker? The speaker is from Nepal. She's Navina Maharajan, working in Family Planning Association of Nepal as an accountant in Finance Division since 2011. She is an experienced accountant handling different projects and donors. She has completed her bachelor's degree in business studies in 2012 and just tried her master in business studies. So, may I call upon Navina to present the presentation.
Can somebody assist here, please?
Respected chairs, presenters, and audience. Good morning and greetings from Nepal. My chairs has already introduced me, so I want to go to with my slides quickly because of the limited time. First of all, I want to start with sequence of my presentation. Those are title, background, objective, methodology, results, and conclusions. The title of my presentation is Increment of Financial Resources on Sexual and Reproductive Health and Rights in Family Planning Association of Nepal. Now here comes with the backgrounds. FPAN has been working on the field of SRHR with financial and technical support from IPPF since its establishment in 1959. FPAN is the first and leading national NGO devoted to SRHR, which was established in 1959 and started FP and SRS project in Nepal with financial and technical support from IP. The funding modality has been changed later on and multi-donors prefer to invest in FP SRS. Investing in SRH FP has quantifiable benefits such as achieving universal access of FP SRH, reduced maternity mortality rate, unwanted pregnancies, unmet need, onset abortion, HIV, infertility, etc. The main objective of my presentation is to analyze the value of funding trends of investment and its impact in expanding the services and service centers in FPAN remote district. Here you can see the methodology that I have used for my presentation, and they are funding trends on FPN from 2010 to 2015 and internal external financial audit reports, data audit, and annual report of FPN. Now I go through. Now it's funding trends of FPN. International Planned Parenthood is the main funding agency of FPAN. FPAN received regular annual financial report from IPPF since its establishment date 1959 to till. Besides IPPF, FPAN has also been funded by multi-donors such as FINIS, JTF, PPFA, UNFPA, and you can see here the donor list. These are the key donors of FPN. The next, now here comes the grant received by FPN and other donors from 2010 to 2014. FPAN received almost 25% to 41% of its budget from IPPF out of the total budget. Here you can see the chart of the previous slide. You can see that along with IPPF funding, the other donors' investment is also increasing simultaneously from 2010 to 2013. But in 2014, as some project has been phased out, it shows a little bit low decreasing trend in other donor contribution, which affects also in the internal income of FPN in 2014. But fortunately, in 2015, we have got other funding from USAID as for CIFO project. Except the regular funding, FPAN also generates some internal income like bank interest, service registration fees, bank and on-the-job training fees from doctors. Now FPAN recently has making some efforts for the financial sustainability also. Now the next is 5 years average program expenditure portfolio. FPAN is working in 5 thematic areas, which are HIV/AIDS, adolescents, access, abortion, and advocacy. Expenditure shown in the table reflects what FPAN actually done with the budget, how it utilized it in the 5 thematic areas to achieve its best results.
Is that in dollars?
Sorry, it is in NPR. These are the expenditures of the FPN according to the 5 thematic areas. Out of the total budget, FPAN succeeded to utilize 557 million in HIV/AIDS, and that is 36% of the total budget, 14% in adolescent and youth, 18% in abortion, 28% in access, and 4% in advocacy sector. This is a chart of my previous slide. Among 5 thematic areas, budget in advocacy sector is low because advocacy is only focused in central level but not in branch level. Now let's come to the results. Due to increment of funding, FPAN succeeded to increase its services and service center, which you can see here. FPAN provided 3.3 million services in 2010, 2.7 million in 2011, 2.8 million in 2012, 4 million in 2013, and 4.2 million in 2014. FPAN also succeeded to reach in poor, marginalized, and socially excluded groups and underserved population through expanding and strengthening its service centers. Currently, FPAN is operating in 37 districts with 1,424 service delivery points, 22 family planning health clinics with doctors, 102 community clinics with paramedics, 8 working centers, 142 mobile clinics, 5 training centers, 93 youth information centers, and 124 youth-friendly service centers. And it is also providing hotline center also. Now continue of results. As you see in the picture, IPPF is awarding FPN as a best MA in 2014 among the IPPF working on the field of family planning and SR/HR. I also want to share that FPAN has a great national contribution in the field of SR/HR. We nearly 25% to 30% contribution in national SRS services and 20% in BCT and 17% in safe abortion sectors. FPAN was awarded as the best NGO working on the field of family planning and SR/HR by Nepal government, Ministry of Health and Population in 2014. As for the national contribution that we have providing to the government, you can see in the picture our president of FPN is receiving award from the government of Nepal in behalf of FPN. So here I come to the conclusion of my presentation. My conclusions are: investing in FPSRS has increased the services in remote areas, especially to youth, women, and poor, marginalized, and socially excluded communities. So more investment in FPSRS is needed to reach in this community to address unmet needs of FP, which is still remains 27% amongst women of reproductive age, as well as to increase the universal access of SRS services. Thank you.
Thank you, Navina, for your very interesting presentation. Based on your presentation, we imagine how big the FPN and how you do a lot of work successfully because you got a lot of funding from the various agencies. Very interesting. And shall we move again to another speaker? He's Amusing Sitsabati. She's also a president of the FPN, and she also has a lot of experience, long experience of working on sexual and reproductive health in various capacities, especially focusing on the needs of young people and women, and very good understanding of the understanding of the current context and women's needs. So, may I call Amul to present your presentation.
Thank you, ma'am. Very good morning to respected chair and everyone in this room. Thank you for being here today. It's giving me a sense of empowerment to be in a room full of people who are passionate about SRHR and playing their part of it. It's long been expected as fact that the ability of family planning services saves lives. Where women has access to these services, children and families are healthier, and society at large benefits. This project is an example of. So my presentation is in positive changes in Nepal as a result of integrations, SRH and biodiversity conservation. The background of this project is national annual population growth 1.8% overall, poverty widespread less than $1 per day, larger family size 6 approximately in average in project sites, pressure on nature resource very high, early marriage high in most of the communities, poor access to sexual and reproductive health and family planning services, unsafe sex practice, unwanted pregnancy, unsafe abortion, STI, including HIV, mobility and mortality, sanitation and access to safe drinking water is very poor. Can I read like this? Yes. I think here everybody is might be very strange that how SRH can and biodiversity approach and important. So this is the linkages that I have made it in my presentations. If you see SRH and biodiversity linkages, first we talk about the social, cultural, economic barriers of family planning and reproductive rights, services, and low level of education, knowledge, and awareness. Then its impact in rapid population growth. Then when it's a rapid population growth then its poverty will come definitely. Then food shortages and dependence on forestry, because Nepal is a landlocked country and most of the people, they depend on the agriculture. So growing pressure on environment, deforestation, encroachment, abuse, poaching, unsustainable fuel, and fuel wood extractions. So then it's linked with the biodiversity loss. And if biodiversity loss, then what happened is the effect on climate change. Most of the countries now talking and discuss already start in UN also in climate change. Then if effects on climate change, definitely flood, landslide, soil erosions, and populations. If we see in population, its impact in poor community health also. Then if you see in landslide and soil erosion and flood, then definitely its effect on the food shortages. Then if you see food shortages and poor community health, then impact on productivity, human resource, then impact in poverty, shortages, ill health, poor developments. So how is interlinked with the SRH and biodiversity linkages is this. And this is the objectives to improve the livelihood of local community through sustainability management of nature, natural resource, and increase access to sexual and reproductive health services, to enhance
participation of local people in diversity conservation and sexual and reproductive health service, to minimize environment degradations in critical areas through different interventions. Now? Is okay. Okay, thank you. If you see here, methodology, but methodology was different. So can I read my methodology? It's not, yeah, I don't know. this one is integrated working methodology, so this is not. So this project was launched in 2012. The integration project is being implemented in 5 districts of Nepal, and our these 2 organizations is working on this project. One is WWF Nepal and Family Planning Association, and WWF is working in biodiversity and conservation, and Family Planning Association is working in SRHR. So participation and partnership with local youths in planning, implementation and monitoring and integrations of biodiversity conservation and SRHR are key approaches adopted by this project. Baseline and inline survey were conducted to ascertain the major changes in SRH and biodiversity conservation due to integrations. So it is also the example that how 2 different organizations can together work in one project. And this slide is not methodologies, but it's an integrated working modality. So if you see that project, how we work in the field, that WWF and Family Planning is the main partners. Then we coordinate with project coordinator committee from FPAN and WWF, and we say TAL. This TAL is Tarai Art Land. So then we Family Planning District branches and TAL, CBRSP and PABG project officials. Then we coordinate with District Forest Office, which is FOS, and protected area. Then Family Planning is working with District AIDS Coordinator Committee, Reproductive Health Coordinator Committee, and then primary, if you see there, primary health care and sub-health post. Then we work in, if you see in the red, that project manager, unit district levels, TAL and Family Planning Association. Then they have a sub-divisions, that Community Forest Coordinator Committee, which we say CFCCS, and BURS, we said Buffett Zone User Committee. Then MPRC, Multiple Purpose Resource Center, and then Youth Forum. Then it's linkage to BZ, that is Buffett Zone Community for Forest User Group, MG, and then BURS, that is Buffett Zone Service Group, and Community-Based Anti-Poaching Operations, Eco Clubs, Youth Clubs. So we do our work divide like this, and finally in one place we work. So this is the our modality, that how we work together with our donors in the same area. If you see in these pictures, one side there is female, and another side, if you see, there is young people. So we trained our community women in agriculture. We give them a training, and another side, if you see the young people, we give them training on sexual and reproductive rights, rights and natural resource management and biodiversity training, and youth information. So this is the two groups that how we train them, integrated with SRHR and biodiversity. And this is the result. The finding of inline service survey as compared to baseline survey demonstrate the positive changes due to integrations of SRH and biodiversity conservations. The comparative analysis shows that the use of biogas increased from 23% to 31%. Use of fuel wood is traditional store decreasing from 88% to 82%. Local people involved in capacity building related to biodiversity conservation and SRH increased from 24% to 43%. Youth involved in biodiversity conservation activities increased from 15% to 50%. The use of family planning service increases from 52% to 63%. Awareness about HIV counseling and testing service increased from 42% to 64%. So this is the result, and it is, I think, it is amazing, I can say, because we launched this in 2011, and we in 3 years period we got this very tremendous success in this area. And from this year again we are going to sign a new memo for other districts also. So we are going to expand in more 3 districts, and it could be now 8. When we are piloting this, we are working in 5 districts in Nepal. So this is, if you see here, it's all green. So Green Youth Summit, and this one is wonderful experience to everyone. When we heard the name is green, it's related to the environment. So we keep this Youth Summit name is Green Youth Summit because we mobilize most of the youth on this project. So it's very innovative, very approach, and it's very catchy that how we describe in one word, that is green and related to the youth. So in this Green Youth Summit, from 5 branches, almost more than 100 youths are involved in this workshop, and this summit was happened in the middle of the jungle, and it was amazing. And I would like to share that our youth and their family has started a homestay concept now. So in the middle of the jungle, you can get some good homestays services there, and nice food too. And they are preventing the forest too. So this is the wonderful experience of this project. This is the Green Youth Summit. So, and it's managed by our youth, family planning, and the youth who are working with the biodiversity. It's together, they have made this successful, this Green Youth Summit. And my lesson learned is involving of local youth was key to the success of the project. It is very important to mobilize the young people of their area. And capacity building and export opportunity as well as feeling of ownership, motivated the youth of contribution more for SRH and conservations. If we mobilize the youth from their own area, then they feel their ownership, because the we are from the outside of their branches. We just go and implement the project, but the project should run. If local people will run the project, then they feel their ownership and they will continue if the project will phase out also. As I said that they have started the homestay concept also. So biodiversity conservation benefits not only the forest and the wildlife, but also the livelihood of the populations depends on them. Through an integrated approach to conservation and public health, involvement and empowerment of local communities, the link between SRH and resource use within the community can be addressed in a sustainable way. Definitely, when the good things will come, definitely challenges will also connect with that project. As we say that in one point there is the two sequence, so we can have a challenges also, not only the good things happen when we implement the project. The project is itself innovative, implemented by multi-partners. There were confusions and difficulties while implementing project activities in the beginning, because I have shown before integrated working modality that there is lots of partners are there. So there is very confusing that whose role, how we will implement it, and the role is very difficult to identify, and where to report, whom to report, and it is very difficult in when we are launching the project. That is the one very important challenges we have got. Then working modality of WWF Nepal and FPAN is different, because WWF work in biodiversity and conservation, and a family planning association more related to the health, especially the HRHR. So it is the two different organizations who are working together, and their system are also different from each other. So that is also, in the first phase, it is difficult for us. And then geographical area and population in the project area is too large, scant and remote. It's very remote area where we work, because when we talk about the conservations and biodiversity, definitely it's a remote and it's a jungle, it's a forest. So we have to think of animals, we have to think of people. So it is very difficult to work on that area. Quality of public health facilities are too poor, and it was sometimes difficult to address the gap of the project only, because the organization, WWF Nepal and family planning has not all the facility of the public health, public facilities, quality of the quality of care we have to maintain. So we need we need support of the government too, and government also have not a much facility. So it is very difficult to address the health facility in this project. And the frequently closures and the road blockage program, because as you, I don't know, most of they will see in the website that these days we are very facing, Nepal is facing lots of problem about the blockades, and all that is also very difficult in project when we are not running. And recommendations, integrated project, PHE is population health education, helps to achieve the intended result in a short time, working with partners with diverse expertise in more effective youth engagement is crucial in both SRH and conservations. These projects working modality with partner organization and young people can be adopted. The integrated approach giving an opportunity to walk beyond the area of scope. The integration of health with NRM is a natural resource management institution is an opportunity for health institutions of strengthening and sustain. And this is not thank you actually, I don't know where. It's gone, I don't know the pictures. So this is actually the pictures. Can you make it small so maybe it's going to there. This is the pictures actually, that is not one, thank you. So I would like to conclude my presentation with these pictures. It says that clean environment, small families, keys to happy, prosperous lives. So thank you very much to listening this presentation. Thank you very much.
Okay, we thank you so much, the three presenters here, and they really did a splendid job in coming up with more comprehensive and clear presentation. So let's now open the floor to question and answer. And please identify yourself, where do you belong, what organization, what country, and to whom are you addressing the question. We will only entertain questions, no opinions, please, because we only have about 15 minutes. Okay? Who'll start the ball rolling? Yes, sir.
I'm the Sunshine Out from Marisol, Myanmar. And my question will go to the first. My question would go to the first presenter. Is there any difference between the capillary blood and the venous blood if we use the HemoQ method? Because we are using that equipment in the mobile clinic. And the next question is, what if we want to take more blood sample for a different test like HIV and with one punch? I mean,
The first question, the capillary blood is one drop of blood. It is a very feasible and very easy test for the screening of the anemia first. And the time will be short within the 5 minutes. This divide into to show the quantitative 11 something, 11.2, 11.8 is the ACID point. In the routine rural health center AN clinic is a hemoglobin colors D method they use, and this test may be depending on the not quantitative test, it's only the qualitative. It depends on the anemia present or not. And then another thing is the firstly screen out this HemoQ method. The cost may be less than 1,000 just, and it's very maybe cheap. And then the firstly screening anemia, and then you have to further test and taking the venous blood from the shoulder, elbow, and the 3 ml of blood. And this blood may be for the 2 tube. The 1 tube may be the anticoagulant, not this is a chemical irradiate or something, and not clotting. And another thing is the clotted blood for the blood after clotting, and separate the serum sample, and then going to the serum ferritin for the iron deficiency anemia, and follow the other tests. And then going to you have to check the hepatitis B, C, and HIV, and go to this sample. And then the unclotted blood going to the hematological analyzers, and this machine is the 26 parameters in my lab, and go to the detail of the red blood cells parameter. And our result show that mainly on the red blood cell. The other cells may be white blood cell, platelets, and detail total 26. This is our study. Is the main thing is the HemoQ device, and compared to the automatic analyzer. And then this is the percentage agreement is very good, and then the more than 80%, and the mean hemoglobin data is very nearest. And this device is very useful to screen out anemia in every AN clinic MCH.
Okay, I think, shall we discuss this later? It's very highly technical, and some majority may not understand this point. So, and another questions is,
Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Simon Lin from PSI Myanmar. I have a question to ask the last speaker related to the involvement of youth in your program. Which kinds of motivations are currently using to attract and sustain the youth participation in your program to get such kind of great achievement? The motivation factors you are currently using.
Thank you. As I said in my presentations that we use the local youths, and the motivation factor is that we always says them when we are training to them that it's good not to go out of country, it's good to stay in their own place and how we can survive. One, I have already given example that how we have helping them to develop, establish a resort in like a homestay where they have their own home, they can earn the money also from there, and how they can preserve the natures, and how they can attract the foreigners to visit their place. So that is the we are motivating to them, and related to that, in SRS sectors also, we have established working with the government health post to more facility to provide in the health post. So they won't go, out of their districts to check out and everything. Before it was very difficult because of the road, because of the environment. So now we are motivating them to come up, stay in their own areas and to generate the new opportunities. Yes.
So it does. Do the program involve any incentive or some kinds of materials are providing support to the
Yes,
youth?
we are not giving the incentives because we can't provide that to all the people. But yes, definitely materials, and we will help them to preserve how to preserve the jungles, and to send them some of the training related to the SRH and conservations together out of their places. That is funded by the project.
Thank you for your sharing.
Thank you.
Good, okay, who's the next? And, okay, next will be you, and we can entertain 3 more questions after this.
Hi, my name is Nilima and I'm from Nepal, and I work very closely with the FPAN as well. But still, I just wanted to ask, like, you have a budgeting trend, like on HIV, the highest budgeting trend, like investment for HIV/AIDS is very high in Nepal. And also, but you have, I'm just like surprised to see the budget investment for the advocacy and adolescent and youth is, like for advocacy it's just 4% and adolescent and youth is 40%, which is directly linked to the fact that the HIV and AIDS, if you are working on advocacy, adolescent and youth, then it will also be connected with the HIV and reduction of the percentage of HIV and AIDS. So, I mean, why is the budgeting trend for advocacy and adolescent and youth is very low than comparing to the HIV and AIDS?
I think I can give this answer because he's from finance division. It's better. Thank you, Nilima. Yes, as he said that we work very closely with 2 organizations. Because yes, if I think she forgot to mention that in every project we keep the advocacy budget, and advocacy section is different in FPAN, but we have a budget in each and every project. And in youth also we involve in every project, we involve the youth. If we calculate that budget, then we can see the budget will be high in adolescents and advocacy. But she has just mentioned, I think, the budget what we allocate in the sections. So that's why it has, you can see the figure is declining.
Because of global fund also that.
No, because of advocacy is always focused on central level, not in grassroots level and branch level. And in HIV, it is totally focused on branch level. So the budget is different.
Okay.
So, any more questions?
Can I ask? Can I add one more question? Because on the last presentation, you have shown that the youth and the biodiversity working is linked in between SRHR and biodiversity. So I was just wondering, like how the biodiversity, like how you actually he has already asked the motivation factor for it, but how is the conversion of the service, lead conversion of the information into service, and how it is linked with the service? I mean, how these networking are linked with the service?
I think I have already mentioned in my presentations when I show you the chart there. We will actually main donors are family planning and WWF, but we work with the government, we work with the forest divisions, Minister of Environment. So that's why I have said that in challenging part also we have a lot of challenging that who will take or who will lead this in the futures. So we are the main. We are the main donors only, but yes, definitely we work with the different people in the different areas. There is district forest officials also from the conservation side, then protected areas in charge also. Then if you see in family planning district branches, we work with the district AIDS coordinator committee, then we work with the reproductive health coordinator committee. So primary health centers also, we work with the primary health centers, sub-post health centers also. So there is in the sub areas we have a lots of our partners. So we work on with them.
Okay, I guess the question is about how does this link with SRHR? What are they converted into services? We need to say, are there some, let's say, people who are practicing family planning out of this integration and so on?
Yes,
and that's really the question in every linkage and in every integration.
Yeah, in the last presentation, it was closed. When I closed with this, here is all the linkages has happened that if you see this sided that woman is taking a water from very far, and because of the land floods and soil erosions, then they don't have a they don't have much knowledge about the SRHR family, so they have lots of children, and then how they will cook and its effect in their health. So if this side, if you see all the greenies and animals is there, so there is a small family, so it's a healthy family. They
Okay.
So this is.
So in other words, they live happily ever after. So what next question is?
I'd like to ask you, Mrs. Im, as you have a very good training youth service, I would like to ask you a question. Youth involvement and biodiversity conservation. You have already described the youth involvement in
Information center,
yeah, biodiversity conservation. It's about range from 15% to 50%. 15 to 50%. So the range is very.
You mean involvement of youth in conversation about biodiversity is increasing because of your project.
Youth involvement in biodiversity contribution? Yes.
Do you mean is this 15% to 50%?
Before when we did a survey line, that time it's few young people who are only involved in SRHR. They have a little knowledge only, and few youths have only the biodiversity knowledge. But when we merge this project, then they have to know, they know the more about the SRHR and the biodiversity, so the percentage was increased.
So the 15 to 50% is the increasement of the successful.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Very good presentation, Amu. My question is, you said that your efforts are always on to tell the youth not to leave country, to prevent the outflux of the youth from Nepal. So how this project, aims at that, and how you are trying to retain them in the country? And if they are working with the forest officers, government agencies, does it enhance their opportunity, their chances for opportunity in government job or?
Thank you, sir. Actually, that is not announced from the government. It is not possible, I think so. But yes, if we talk, one person will talk good things about anything, then thousands of people will hear that, and maybe the one will come and join it. That is the methods we use. So we mobilize the young people, because if their friends will talk to them, why you are staying in the same place which before I left it, then they will start that now the new new things is happening here, and we are very happy, and we are generating how to earn the money also, and healthy, to be a healthy. So that is the formula we have started, and that is the thing this project has a main key to. Key people are young people, how we attract them. And as in my presentation also, I have said that they have start to generate the money to start the homestay. And in that place, it's an interesting thing that the people who are staying in that area, they have announced they will sell the land only the people of that local people, not from the outside. Because as you know that the people will attract when the money will come, triples. So they have decided they will not send the land to the other people who are coming from other districts. They will send this land only to their person who are staying there. So this is how we are doing the work with them.
Okay, so
and one more thing, one more thing I would like to announce here. Leonardo, so many people know that, and suddenly he came in the helicopter in that area because he is the ambassador of the Lion Pigeons. So he also happy to see that the model of the village, and he made few of the young people very secretly. So,
okay, that's very good. So there's Hollywood version. All right. So last question, is there no question? Okay. So before we close, I would just like to bring in, let's say, what are the take-home messages after this session? So there's really a need for continuing updates of, let's say, critical areas affecting the health of a mother and of a woman. And one of them is really updates on anemia and other related diseases. And another thing is governance and accountability, especially when it comes to financial management. It's really very critical for, let's say, EPAN is an example of a really well-funded agency. And because they're very efficient. And of course, the last is that because of the climate change and the ongoing, let's say, changes in the environment, there's really a need to integrate SRHR in other areas, especially on PHE, population health and environment. And we hope that those who are here could also replicate the very good experience of Nepal. So thank you very much for coming. And let's give a big hand to our speakers. And thank you too. Oh, my last question, being the founder of this conference. Okay, we founded this sometime in 2001. What? Are you happy coming here? Yes! Louder! Thank you so much. Lunch is ready.